Hey everybody, before we button this thing up, we wanted to give you one last look at the guts of this. So we have everything finished in here. I'm going to start over here. Our buddy Dave has finished with this bracket here. Let me get a spot where you might be able to see his handiwork. What we've got here, so we zoom in on this. Okay, so we needed, as we were working through this thing, a 48 RE, as you can see, has a mount place on the actual transmission case here, and it would have a bolt that would go through here into the transmission case. We didn't have that, and so what we had to do is we had to fab up a bracket here. Dave took care of that. He fabbed it up, and then we got it exactly in the right spot, because what you can't have, and the reason why I'm starting with this, is you can't have this bracket moving very much. And even though it's a pretty stiff bracket, and you've got a pretty solid anchor up here at the top, what happens is you get a little bit of flex out of it, and it needs to be precise for when you're working with this rooster comb here. So again, as a refresher, we've got, this is off the 48 RE right here. This is the range select sensor, and we had to custom cut a little bracket, and we had to custom cut a bushing, and we had to turn down the casing of the 48 RE range select sensor so that it would slide into the bushing, so that it's not threaded on the inside of the bushing, but the threads for the case are, you can kind of see there how we milled the case of the range select sensor almost down to the brass, and you have to get the spacing on that just right, because you need it to say park when it's in park, and it tells that by how far in and out that shaft is there. So you can just see the brass nose of that shaft, and it needs to be at the right distance. So it took us a long time to engineer this, and it's quite the accomplishment that these guys have done. It's mostly Rusty and Dave that have been working on this here, and they have gotten everything lined up, and they've gotten the shift linkage firmed up so that now when you run it through the gears, it knows exactly on the computer, it knows exactly what gear it's supposed to be in, it knows that it's supposed to be able to start and park and neutral, and it gives us our reverse lights without having to chop or cut any of the wiring. So we just thought we'd do a little quick video on that and show you the completed project here, and that it can be done. This is a 47 RH in a 3rd gen body, and it can communicate if you go through the process needed to make it all happy. All right, hope that helps.